Record. Done and done. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Again, this presentation is how to work with your commissioner. My name is David Damsky. We'll go ahead and get started. Okay. So commissioner service. So in the early days of scouting, the units were organized by resourceful individuals who sometimes had to acquire the materials from England and other places to get their scouting programs to actually happen. These organizers were basically performing the role of a commissioner. In 1916 in the United States, some of these commissioners were actually asked to become scouting executives to help promote scouting. So they became paid professionals to actually promote scouting, and others stepped into their roles as commissioners to help start units and foster the relationship between the newly found organization of scouting and the community that they were supporting. The commissioner position is one of the oldest in scouting, and its origins go all the way back to our very beginning. As councils grew, more help was needed, and councils began to divide their workload into manageable districts, and that's where the district commissioner position actually came from. So in the 1940s, the National Scouting decided that each unit should have a commissioner, and they started to develop a commissioner support network. So the workload of the district commissioner and the deputy district commissioners, now known as assistant commissioners, were broken down effectively, and the position of unit commissioner was truly established. So you can see the origins of the old patch and the new. So so the commissioner structure goes all the way to the national level. We have a national commissioner, and we have regional and area commissioners. We also have a council commissioner for Silicon Valley, Monterey Bay area. Her name is Carmen Fuller. And we have assistant council commissioners such as myself and a handful of others that help support our commissioner network. And then each of you belong to a district. Each of your districts has a district commissioner and some assistant district commissioners. And ideally, in a perfect world, each of you should also have a unit commissioner. But as I was discussing with Kristen, some of you may not have a unit commissioner. So the best way to find out if you have a commissioner is to talk to your unit leadership, whether that be the scoutmaster or the committee chair. Find out who your unit commissioner is. If you don't have one, then you can go to your district commissioner and ask for some support and leadership from the district. All right, a commissioner's purpose. This is truly what it comes down to. This is all a commissioner should be doing. And, you know, one simple sentence covers it all: to help units serve more youth better through scouting. That's just a one sentence statement, but it's so full of what exactly scouting is. And is there a question?
Yes, are you sharing slides?
Oh my goodness, am I not sharing?
No, I just realized we probably have visual aids.
Thank you. My mom always told me to share. There you go. Can you see that now?
Yes.
Outstanding. So you guys missed my beautiful presentation of the, there we go, of my opening slide, as well as when I was talking about commissioner service, those lovely vintage patches. And now we're talking about the commissioner's purpose, to help units serve youth better through scouting. This is the crux of what a unit commissioner does, and there are so many responsibilities that fall into this particular description. So a commissioner's four major objectives are to support unit growth through the Journey to Excellence. So a Journey to Excellence program is something that we've been doing for about the last 10 years within Scouting, which is kind of a continual process improvement for our units, and we'll get into more detail about that in case you are not familiar with JTE. Contacting units and capturing their strengths and needs through commissioner tools. Now this is a database that commissioners use to help log their visits and put in the needs and strengths of the particular units that they support. And it's only visible to the commissioner's program. Linking units to the needs of the district operating committee and their resources. So this is the crux of helping units and bridging them back to the district and the council for support, and then supporting timely recharter and renewal for each particular unit. And we'll go into detail on each of these. So supporting unit growth in the Journey to Excellence. So I sure hope each and every one of you knows what Journey to Excellence is, and if you don't, I hope your unit leadership does. It is a program that we've been doing for the past 10 years. What's its purpose? It encourages continuous improvement for your unit and through scouting and development of goals in scouting. It measures performance versus process. It rewards units for success, achieves the BSA mission on several levels, and helps unit leaders understand key factors that improve their particular program. What Journey to Excellence brings to the unit, it brings the framework of planning. It's a great method of evaluation, provides guidance. It gives guidelines and standards for the commissioner team. It's an early warning system for helping identify weaknesses or areas that need to be developed and strengthened within a particular program. It provides unit recognition and it provides benchmarking. So Journey to Excellence has been a program, like I said, for the past 10 years, and it extends all the way up through the regional level up into the national level of scouting. So there is a Journey to Excellence program for each council, for each district, and it doesn't matter what type of unit that you support, whether it be Cub Scouting, venturing, any of the BSA programs, there's a Journey to Excellence component that goes with that as well. So what the commissioner does, hopefully, is introduce this program to the unit if the unit's not currently using Journey to Excellence. And if they do use Journey to Excellence, helps work with the troop or program leadership to help work on areas and methods of improvement within the existing framework of Journey to Excellence. Secondly, the unit commissioner is contacting the unit, making visits, having discussions with the unit leadership, and capturing their strengths in our database, which is called Commissioner Tools, which is available online for the unit commissioners and the commissioner team. So the unit structure, I'm hoping that all of you are aware of the key three. So there's the chartered organizational representative, there's the committee chair, and then there's the unit leader, the scoutmaster, basically. And it's shown in a nice triangle here, which surrounds the youth that we support within the program. Now the commissioner, whoops, back, ta-da. The commissioner surrounds that whole program with unit service and is a resource to all three levels of the unit key three, the chartered organizational rep, the committee chair, and the unit leadership. Primarily, the unit commissioner should be interacting with the unit committee chair as well as the unit leader with providing guidance and mentorship along the way, and is available to the charter organization as a resource as well to help lead them along the way as how they best can support the unit that they serve. So a unit commissioner logs their contacts within the commissioner tools, and those unit contacts can be varying, obviously somewhat changed based on our current COVID situation, but prior to the shelter in place and these, not meeting indoors standards and meeting online, a unit commissioner would visit a unit meeting or an activity. I know as a unit commissioner, and even as when I served as council commissioner, one of my favorite things to do was visit a district camporee. And that's a multi-day camping event where activities and competitions go on. And I loved walking around and visiting with the particular units, checking in, introducing myself, meeting their unit leadership and some of the other adults that may be there, and even talking to the youth in the unit to see how they were doing and how they were enjoying the program, and also bringing their feedback back to the districts and the councils. So that's a great example of the activities that a unit commissioner could be attending. Even a camp out or a day hike, a unit commissioner could be involved with that with your particular unit. But primary mode is visiting a unit meeting and observing how the troop leadership functions and runs a meeting. Also, attending a unit committee meeting, great place for the unit commissioner to get feedback or just observe the operations of the particular unit. Phone calls, been doing a lot of that myself during these COVID times. Emails, text messages, roundtable is another great place for unit commissioners to visit multiple units. And as it says down here, other scouting events. We're currently participating in our Scoutorama right now, which is vastly different from our Scoutorama in the past. This is an online event with multiple little events that are going on that units can participate in. Scoutorama, when held at History Park, another great opportunity for commissioners to walk around and visit units and introduce themselves to the units that they serve. It's nice for a unit commissioner to be known by more than just that key three within a particular unit. So moving on to linking units to the needs of the district, their unit needs to district operating committee and resources. We're going to go into a little more of the details of what this entails. So the key district functions are fund development, basically fundraising, unit service, that's where the commissioner program comes in and for unit support. Membership, that's recruiting, that's gaining new members into our programs. And program, now this is basically the 3/4 of scouting, which is the outing, which is the fun things that we do, whether it be advancement, going out and doing those great camping or hiking opportunities out in the field. Program is the nuts and bolts of it. So each of these functions within the district have a district chairperson that helps oversee those and the operation of those portions within a district as it functions underneath the overall council umbrella. And the council also has volunteers that help support each of these areas. So there's a multi-level support for units that the unit commissioner can help identify to the unit leadership if program enhancement or additional support is needed for each one of these. So fund development, this is basically taken up with fundraising, sustaining membership enrollment, Friends of Scouting support, various trust funds with the James E. West and other of the 1912 Society, and providing advice to units. So the unit commissioner is not necessarily an expert in each of these areas, whether it's the fund development or unit service along the lines. They are the conduit to link the unit back to the district or the council resources, where an expert can provide particular advice. But you'll find that the unit commissioner is typically somebody that has some experience within scouting and at least can point the way to connect units to the right folks. Again, membership, this is primarily recruitment, fall roundup, spring roundup, any special membership rallies to gain scouting membership. This would be something like a special day at Bass Pro where they bring out the fishing tank and have people come out and visit. And the council and Bass Pro have linked over the past couple of years to really promote scouting within our area. And those of you that knew of Mel Cotton's prior to it going away and turning into a Smart and Final, they were great promoters of scouting and would help us hold scouting recruitment events there as well. Again, advice and help to units with membership problems. Again, if a unit commissioner is that resource that can help provide some guidance, can answer questions, and when in doubt, they can link you back to the district or the council resource for that information. Program, again, this is the meat and potatoes of scouting. Camping activities, that includes advancement and that includes training. So a unit commissioner can work with your unit leadership, whether it's someone from the committee side or somebody from the scoutmaster or assistant scoutmaster side, training, reviewing the training records that you have within your unit and helping promote the various trainings that the district and council are putting on to make sure that your unit can have trained adult leaders within their program for the youth that they serve. Advancement. Most of our unit commissioners have been there, done that, and can provide advice on advancement issues or questions from your unit program, as well as when in doubt, there's several resources available online, as well as the district advancement chair and the council advancement committee that can help support the advancement within your unit. Camping and activities, obviously these have been somewhat more online lately, but there are some great resources available on how units can actually be camping right now with some social distancing and providing some quarantine prior to your going out into the field and actually having your camping, as well as some face-to-face activities with social distancing guidelines. So a unit commissioner can link you back to the council resources that are available to have your program continue on even in times that we're having right now. And again, the council has several levels of resources available for this. So we can be continuing scouting even when from our own homes. All right, so as I had said before, whoops, that's what I get for moving my mouse. As I had said before, a unit commissioner may not be a specialist in all of these particular areas. When it comes to the unit service part, the unit commissioner is a generalist. Unit commissioner can answer a lot of different questions. Sometimes they're specialists in key areas. That just comes with the experience that they have and that they bring to your unit. But when in doubt, they can help point to the specific person within the district committee that has a specialist, as we had gone through the FUMP, the finance, the unit service membership and program. There are members that represent those levels within the district committee. Some of them even have their own staff within the district committee structure to help support those activities. And they can provide that more specialized care that may be needed for your particular unit. So, but the unit commissioner is there to help work with the unit and determine if there is a specialized need and if there questions that they can answer, they will definitely do so. But their primary goal is being able to be that conduit to bring you back to the district and the council resources that are available. All right, commissioner service. So our primary goal, keeping units operating and making sure that they're supporting the youth that they serve to the best of their abilities, making regular contact. Our minimum goal, the minimum goal of a unit commissioner is to make 6 visits during a calendar year. It was a whole lot easier when, you know, a troop may meet on every Tuesday, and, you know, the unit commissioner could show up at 1 meeting a month and easily meet within the unit structure, you know, once a month, you know, get more than those 6 minimum contacts that are needed to have that commissioner qualify for actually doing their service. There's also assessments that the commissioner can do with the unit to help identify some of those needs that may not be present in the minds of the unit leadership, but through that conversation can help identify those needs and bring them back to the district. Regular contact, again, this is something that the commissioner should be providing for either the face-to-face visit, email contacts, texting, phone calls with the unit leadership, and providing counsel to those unit leaders. Coaching and mentoring is key. Being a sounding board. I know for one of the units that I serve, the scoutmaster was dealing with a complex issue with a scout working towards their eagle who had aged out, but based on the COVID and the shelter in place, had been granted an extension. And so there were several levels that had to be met for the scout to be able to meet the requirements and try to, you know, the complex structure of being able to move forward with doing an Eagle project in the early days of COVID, when we were primarily shelter in place, the advancement for the youth. So it, you know, I was able to provide some guidance and definitely linked this scoutmaster back to our district advancement chair for some of the more detailed questions. But a lot of what a unit commissioner can do is just being that listening ear, the sounding board for the unit leadership to talk through issues with, and just provide little nudges here and there to guide them along their way. And again, the council support network behind a unit commissioner. We have assistant district commissioners, council commissioner. So each unit commissioner has several layers of commissioners and experienced commissioners above them to provide them with some guidance along the way, if that is needed. And the last one on the list here, helping fix problems. Again, the unit commissioner is a generalist. A lot of projects can be, or a lot of problems can be fixed by a generalist by providing a little bit of guidance here and there. But again, it's linking units back to those district resources if things become a little more complex than what can be dealt with a unit commissioner and the key 3. So how does the commissioner do this? Their service roles, here's a list of what they should be doing, but what they shouldn't be doing, and hopefully you as unit leaders never experience this. A commissioner is not a watchdog for the district. They're not a police officer. They're not the gatekeeper or the warden. They're not the one who's standing there telling you, don't do that, don't do this. They should not be looked at as an enemy or as the police trying to hold you to a certain standard. The commissioner is your friend. They're a resource. They're a representative of the district and the council, but they're not they're not the gatekeeper, the auditor of your program. If there's any questions a unit commissioner has, they should be taking them up one-on-one with the unit leadership to discuss, some of their observations, not chastise people for not following the scouting program. That's not what a unit commissioner does. They're a doctor, and that's in quotes because sometimes, with some troubled units, there's levels of triage that need to be performed. There are certain aspects, some things are a little more important than others. Unit membership may be more important than highlighting particular advancement at that given time, though advancement's critical to how a unit operates. So, it's developing kind of the flow of how care can be given and treatment can be served to units that are in trouble or really need the role of a unit commissioner for their help and support. They're a teacher, they're a coach, they're a mentor. Again, the sounding board, the listening ear, the compassionate ear to listen to the unit leadership. It can be a lonely role as a scoutmaster, with 60, 70 youth that you're serving, and here you are, the person standing up, to provide that program guiding light. Whether you have, just a few assistant scoutmasters or you have dozens of assistant scoutmasters to help your program, it can be a lonely role as a scoutmaster. And a lot of our unit commissioners have been scoutmasters or assistant scoutmasters and can help lend an ear, a pat on the back, a shoulder to cry on, or somebody to clap in the corner of the scoutmaster to help give them support. And that's not to say that we just focus on the program side of things. A lot of unit committees need guidance and help along the way, and a unit commissioner, I know, as in my own personal background, I was a scoutmaster for 7 years. I was a PAC committee chairman for 3 years. I was a venture crew chairman for about 5 years, committee chair. So each unit commissioner brings their vast experience and knowledge to help support the units that they serve, to help the youth that they serve. So there's several aspects and areas from our own knowledge, as well as going back to our own support networks as commissioners with our district level service and commissioner level service. So the first priority of a commissioner is providing good unit service. This takes precedent over all other scouting efforts. It is your unit commissioner should be doing good for you within your unit. If at any time it seems like it's a combative experience with your unit commissioner, there's not a meeting of the minds, there's a great opportunity to reach back to our district committee and our district commissioner and say, hey, maybe this isn't the right match, this particular unit. A long-standing unit commissioner may not gel or jive with new unit leadership, and maybe there's an opportunity to provide someone else that can provide better support for the current situation within your given program and your given unit. So this isn't a pride thing for unit commissioners. This is a pride for scouting thing that we do. We want to make sure that that units are successful, that units are following the scouting program, and that units get the service that they need. So, if ever I find myself at odds with a unit that I support, I'm glad to step aside to let another unit commissioner come in that may click better with that particular unit leadership and help provide them the support and the resources that they need to be successful. So commissioner leadership styles, your unit commissioner should be bringing diplomacy, exceptional service, You know, any service sometimes is better than no service at all. So it's important that that you, or at least your key unit leadership, knows who your unit commissioner is and has an open dialogue. And then service recovery. This is, you know, if you don't have a unit commissioner, you definitely want to talk to, well, number one, if you don't know who your unit commissioner is, check in with your unit leadership to identify if they know who your unit commissioner is. If you, as part of that unit leadership, have not seen your unit commissioner, reach out to them and find out, hey, are you still my unit commissioner? You can reach out to your district commissioner and say, hey, is Bob Smith still our commissioner? Is Sally Sue still our commissioner? If so, you know, can the district help support them in supporting us with our program? So there's at least one district within our council that's struggling with commissioner support right now. It is a focus for the council to help develop new commissioners, and it's the Quicksilver district right now. So we know that there's a gap there, and we're trying to develop new commissioners to help support our longstanding units and help generate new units within Quicksilver district. So, but then you take a district like Polaris, and they have, I believe every unit has a unit commissioner in Polaris, and they're supported by an assistant district commissioner. For what they've done is they've taken their district and broken it up into 3 or 4 sub districts that are supported by a assistant district commissioner and supported by their district commissioner. So you know, there is a network of commissioner service to help support your unit. So, but first find out, yes, indeed, you know, who is our unit commissioner. As I had alluded to at several points along the way, a unit commissioner is a counselor first and foremost to help provide commissioner service. They're the sounding board, they're the listening ear. You know, the first way to provide good counseling is to listen to what the problems are and then help develop a solution for the unit leadership, or point them in the direction of the resource that can provide that solution for them. So counseling is key. It's the primary role that we serve. Actually, I would say the primary role as a unit commissioner is listening. So, and from there comes the counseling. The listening helps us identify the needs in the service and asking pointed questions, open-ended questions. So in summary, a unit commissioner is there to help support unit growth through the journey to excellence. And they contact the units and capture their strengths and needs. Excuse me. In commissioner tools, they link the unit needs back to the district operating committee resources, and they support timely recharter. So speaking of recharter, I didn't focus on that, but the recharter packets came out on October 1st, about 2 weeks ago, and should be with your unit leadership right now, whether you have a recharter chair working within the unit committee, or that's done by your committee chairman. So those recharter packets should be there. And again, your unit commissioner is a resource to help answer any of the questions that they may have, your unit may have, based on the recharter packet. Everything is being done online this year, and there's a great online support network for that. But then again, your unit commissioner is there to help guide you through the recharter process as needed, or point you in the direction of the right resource within the district to help along that. So there's the timely recharter portion. So that's it for the PowerPoint presentation. We've got about 5 minutes left. I'm available to answer any questions that you may have. So feel free to take yourself on and off of mute as you need to ask your question.
Hey, Dave. Would it be possible to get a copy of the deck?
Of course. So the best way to do that, since I don't have a participant email list, I'll give you my email. So just reach out to me and I'll send you a copy of the deck. My email, it's a little long-winded, so it's Dave, D-A-V-E, _ ADAMSKI at amat.com. And then feel free to drop me an email, and I'll scan my emails after this presentation and send them right out to you.
That's great. Thank you.
Not a problem.
Another question. Journey to Excellence, is that, do we request to participate in that, or is that baked into the process and we should be doing it? Or
so Journey to Excellence, it's not a mandatory program. National would love it, would love it to be mandatory, because there were district standards for participation within Journey to Excellence. The criteria are available online for whatever type of unit that you have. You can just type in Journey JTE BSA Troop 2019, and it'll come up with the little PDF requirement sheet. The front side has kind of the truncated requirements for Journey to Excellence. The back side has a little bit more detailed explanation for what those mean. So there isn't a special, hey, can I participate button that you hit somewhere. It's if your program hasn't been participating in it, I'd say go ahead and grab the requirements, take it to the PLC, give them the opportunity to take a look at it and see if it's something that they want to do. It can't hurt, but it does help provide a little bit of guidelines on that, like I said, the program enhancement and continuous process improvement. So
right. It seems to be a requirement for if you get one of the leadership knots, I think, if I remember.
Yeah, could be under the Scoutmaster key or the Scouters key. And I know for some of the other programs, like we have the Commissioner's Challenge Award, it is a component of that. So if you're vying for the Commissioner Challenge Award, which would get you free cloth advancement patches for the year, you know, JTE is a portion of that requirement.
That in fact, that's great. That was another part of my question, was the Commissioner Challenge Award. Are there parallel programs, or it sounds like one is a part of the other?
Yeah, definitely parallel programs. It's the opportunity to go a little bit above and beyond what the JTE requires, and there's the definite financial benefit if you can qualify for the Commissioner's Challenge. You know, could be a significant cost savings to your unit. So free cloth advancement patches for the year that you've qualified. That's, you know, that could be a couple $100, or for a big troop, that could be up to $1,000 worth of cost savings. So take advantage.
It's the same idea, process improvement.
Yes. Yeah, it's only, that's on, you know, it's another layer and a touch more detailed, because it does go into specific requirements that help the council. As far as the fundraising level, and having somebody that's from your unit that's supporting the district committee or a council committee in a particular role, a little bit above and beyond, and a little more specific to Silicon Valley, Monterey Bay Area Council.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Thank you very much for that clarification.
Yeah, not a problem. Miguel, did you have a question? Miguel, did you have a question?
No, it was my son. That's good.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so I'm out of the Cub Scout now, but yeah, our commissioner initially we were starting a pack, and he was very helpful in starting us, because, you know, for our first camping and all that
Right.
stuff. So he came out with us on the first camping, also helped us initially with setting up the leadership and all that stuff within our unit. So no, he was really helpful in starting a pack.
Outstanding.
So
Yeah,
the commissioner is really good to help you out getting started. Whatever they're very helpful when rechartering too.
perfect.
So
Yeah, we have some unit commissioners that really shine on new unit development and helping new units as, kind of struggle through that starting process. So I'm glad to hear that you had a good experience with that.
yeah, he was very helpful.
Outstanding.
Yeah, so.
All right, we are out of time. I can answer one last question if anybody has one. But if not, it was a pleasure to provide this presentation. I hope you found it of some value. And again, if you hit me up on email, I can give you a copy of the presentation.
Sounds great. I've got one more for you, Dave.
Okay, John, go for it.
So I was reading online that there is a commissioner's bachelor's, master's, and doctorate. Is that
Yes.
like affiliated with a university and a PhD?
So for commissioners, we actually have our own training programs. Now, there's a lot of classes that are available online, but annually we have a commissioners college where we go through and do advanced study on particular topics. So there's always more training. Even for somebody who's been around as long as I have, there's always an opportunity to learn something new. And yes, there is a commissioner's training. It's not a there's there's the bachelor's, master's, and doctorate level for commissioner training and service. There's also a specific doctorate knot for commissioners when they through a different program. So it's just continual training, continual process improvement for the commissioners. So, I hold my master. Am I going to go for a doctorate? No, probably not, because that'll take me a little more time than I have to give right now. So,
Right.
All right. With that, we'll go ahead and draw this to a close. I'm going to hit stop sharing and end the meeting. So you all get kicked out and ready for your next training session if you have one set up for 11 o'clock. Again, thank you for your participation, and I hope you have a great day.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care.